So here we are, Eric and I, our first 2020 road trip on the bike. Eric's new Ninja SX 1000 ABS. I'm gonna put it through some paces today. Me on the bagger, and we'll be back once we're on some nice twisty roads. Well, we've made our way up to the Lachute area here on the 148, and Eric's up in the lead here. We're starting to get in some good riding country. I'm going to be stopping here for some gas a little bit. Just up the road here at the intersection of the 327. Not sure if we're going to head towards Montebello or up north towards Lachute. And see how we go from there. We have a beautiful day here in the northern Quebec, northern Montreal region. High of 17 Celsius today, sunny, rain tomorrow. So enjoy the day while we've got it, while we're still off work. Back to work after Victoria Day Tuesday, full time again, no more time off paid. What's nice about a weekday ride is there's not a lot of traffic. Just dead animals everywhere. I think that's the third raccoon I've passed in the last 10 kilometers. The other drawback with people being off for the last 2 months, especially Transport Quebec, the road repair work is not been done, so there's still massive potholes up here. Something we got to deal with, but eventually the weather will be better, the roads will be better, and we're all good to go. So we're going to be stopping just up here around the corner for some gas Eric needs, and I'll come back on when we got some nice roads to look at. Well, we're headed to Saint Argentil-sur-le-Lac instead of up north. Traffic was a little heavier. We're going to make our way to Montebello, towards the Ontario border. I haven't been down here for a while, so it'd be a nice run. The roads are so-so. We're along the river. There's the hydro dam at Carillon. Get a nice view coming down the hill of the power dam and the river. What's nice about getting off the island of Montreal out into the region is everything is open here. The lockdown is open outside of Montreal. So basically you could enjoy yourself at restaurants that aren't part of a mall, that are normally no problem. Most things are still closed in the city, stores. So it's a pain. So there's the hydro dam, Carillon Park. Speed limit's 90 here. Still a nice ride. Spring's just kicking in. It's been a really late spring. very late spring because it's been cold, cold, cold. The trees are just budding up here. The city's not too bad, but everywhere else is just coming up. Nice views. These are nice roads. More and more people are out on the roads today. We're out in the middle of the provincial park area here in Carrion. Just around the bend we'll be hitting the causeway. Which is basically a little strip of land before the power dam along the river. Right here. There we are. Beautiful scenery. Not too bad. Usually there's nobody here, so it's a good place. Because it's on the causeway, this is the only entrance exit on it, so you don't have to worry about cars or anybody jumping in front of you or whatnot. So it's a fun place just to let it rip, clear the carbon out of the cylinders, as you could say. Beautiful day here in Quebec, as I said before. You can maybe see Eric in my mirror behind me on his Cowie. I've never been on this, but it's a new dock they put in for boaters and a observation post right there. It's not very high, but gives you somewhere to look out. This they put in last year. I forget the name of this campground. I camped here once about 15-20 years ago. Marina Brownsburg, Chatham. Oh, this is the campground, excuse me. That was the marina. Nice place. Right on the river. Brownsburg. We're going to make our way to Montebello. That's a new home. There's one thing I liked about early spring riding and late fall riding. All the bugs are dead, so you don't have to worry about the carnage on the front of your motorcycle or visor on your helmet, like now. But overall, pleasant day to ride. A lot of old colonial homes here. Seems everybody else has got the right idea today. I have my Sena Prism Cam installed on my new AGV Sport Modular carbon fiber helmet. The way the chin guard mounts is a little further back, so therefore my mount for the camera is a little further back on the side of the helmet compared to the mount on my Schuberth. So unfortunately, on the left hand side of the image, you have a bit of the side of my helmet. One small drawback. If you got some money, this is the place to live. You have acre lots along the river with massive homes. $1 million plus homes along here. You can't see them because they're in deep. A little bit of curves. A little bit of counter steering. There is one drawback still. The barricades between Quebec and Ontario are still up. So when we come up to the Grenville, not too far up the road here, normally we would turn left and go over the bridge into Hawkesbury, Ontario, but we're not allowed. So this will make a right turn and go through Grenville and along the 148 towards Montebello. So I am going to sign off here, since up the road here we're going to be coming to a red light, so and then I'll come back after I run through the town. Well, we just left Grenville, and to my surprise the bridge between Hawkesbury and Grenville are up and running. I thought the barricades between Ontario and Quebec were still up, but apparently they're not. So that's nice. So I'm along the 148 here now, headed towards Montebello. This is a nice ride, a nice road. Less traffic since they built Highway 50 to the north of me. You get to follow the river, and it's a good time of year. You can still see the river to the left of me. And I really do have to say, what a breath of fresh air. You are in Montreal, all the paranoid people with masks and fear of each other has disappeared out here in the regions. Nobody's wearing a mask. Everybody is at the restaurants, at the tables, eating normally. No fear, no panic. Motorcycle riders everywhere. This is the best day I could say to get out and ride and get out of the city of all the paranoid people. This is the bridge I want to slow down here and take a look at, get on video, and get a picture of the river here, and down here get a good shot of the river coming down. Hopefully you get it on cam. Beautiful views. So yeah, completely different mentality between the city dwellers, where everybody is in a paranoid fever over this COVID-19 thing, compared to out here in the regions where, for what me and my friend Eric with me have been riding, Lachute, Montebello, well maybe not Montebello yet, Grenville, it's like nothing's going on. Everything's normal. Tim Hortons is open, gas station, people are enjoying themselves in the sun. It is an absolute breath of fresh air, I have to say. So this nice road is all to ourselves. Most of the region is fully open. Unfortunately, I have a vacation in 6 weeks to Baie-Comeau-Sept-Îles, and I heard an announcement this morning that the mayors have won their push to keep the barricades up at Tadoussac to keep people from Montreal from entering their zone, and that is the direction that I would be going this year. And unfortunately, they're supposed to be up till the end of June, so July 1st is my vacation, so I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to have to cancel it and just do weekend trips around different areas of the region, I think, and go from there, because I'm not going to travel 700 kilometers to find out I have to turn around. These are all little towns that I've known about for decades, because as a child my uncle used to come up to his cottage at Lac Gagnon here, which is north of Lac Simon, and so you go through Grenville-sur-la Rouge, Montebello, Cheneyville, Lac Simon, Lac Gagnon. We're not going that far north. We're going to be taking the 325 north from Montebello, and up through Amherst, which has got Lac Saint-Remy there, a small lake on it. There's a nice little patate frites, French fry joint there. You get some nice food, not too expensive. And from there at Amherst, we're going to turn off the road and take the back roads into Herbideau and Arundel and back down through Saint Jerome. Tree pruning. "91 kilometers all the way to Gatineau." We're not going that far. So from here the ride is pretty much like this: flat farmland, straight road, very little. This is the only curves really on this section of the road. Better view of the river going towards Hawkesbury. I don't want to look. I don't want to drive off the road through the curve here. Next town is Fezette. There's a ferry there as well. You could take across the river and head back to the Ontario side. There's some nice little farm country roads on that side as well, I've taken. We were fortunate this year that there was pretty much no flooding. Would have been a real pain in the ass for a lot of people that are on the rivers to get help making sandbags and barricades for the water, because with COVID-19 there's been a lot of restrictions with people, so therefore they would have been screwed. So once I get to Montebello and head back up to 325, I'll come back on when we get a little bit better views, and we'll go from there. In the village of Montebello, very, very historical, popular site. It's pretty much renowned around the world, Montebello. Chateau Montebello, the prime ministers have usually had a lot of dignitaries and visitors that stay here in this village. Good thing for full-faced helmets. The size of that bee that just smacked me in the forehead. Didn't feel a thing. Pretty quiet here. Usually it's a lot more people. A lot of the stores here are still closed. We're coming up to a good restaurant. Right here. Le Zouk. Eaten here many, many times. Great food. Not expensive. Had a beer there once, so that's funny. They're closed here in Montebello, yet Grenville is completely open, like nothing has gone on. So this is our turn off. If you're to keep going straight, just around the bend at the double is the Chateau Montebello, so we're not going that far. Now it's a straight shot north. If you stay on this road, you get all the way up to Saint-Jovite-Mont-Tremblant. But we're only doing about halfway because we got to make our way home a little later on. At one point, it's already almost 2 o'clock. Also up on this road near the new Highway 50 is an animal park, if you want to call it that, something like Park Safari. You got some exotic animals. Nice place. I know a few people that have been there with their kids. It's just coming up here on the left in a couple of kilometers. So is Highway 50. So in the city of Montreal, the trees have budded and the leaves are out almost, and here there's just budding. They haven't even emptied their pod yet, so it looks like fall almost still. There's Highway 50. Didn't exist about 8 years ago. It's been in the works for I don't know how many years, but it's finally up and running. Otherwise, you used to take the 148 that we were on all the way to Ottawa in the old days, way before the Trans-Canada was even built. So that must have been an excruciating long drive. So this is the park I was telling you about. Park Omega. So if you're in the area, take your kids there, enjoy it. Keep the throttle on, take the corner. Some of the poplar trees have budded and their leaves are coming out, but the rest is still dead foliage. It's been very cold here in Quebec as of late, and we're almost the end of May now. We finally got some decent weather. Got a little traffic. Oh, it sucks when you come with traffic. There's Papineauville. After Papineauville would be Lac-Simon. Saint-André d'Avalon, Duhamel, Lac-Gagnon. Take care of the traffic. The roads aren't that bad, considering there hasn't been much maintenance. I was on the 327 a month ago, and I wouldn't recommend that road to anybody. Covered in sand in all the corners, and potholes everywhere, and I'm pretty sure it hasn't been fixed since then either. Problem with the Canada-US border closed because of COVID-19 and New York State having one of the highest infected rates. They're not to be opened until the end of June now. Which is too bad because Upper New York State and Vermont has some of the nicest mountain roads in our area, and it's about an hour, hour and a half away from Montreal. The Laurentians here aren't too bad, but they don't have twisty roads like, say, Montreal, the mountain states like Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire have. Those are beautiful roads for bikers. Here you have sweeping, curving roads, you know, nice views, but it's just not the same thing. And it's like somebody riding the Alps in Europe or in France around the Caen area, and then you come to a flat farmland road. It's not the same. Just not the same. It is enjoyable. As they say, it's motorcycling is basically free therapy sessions. Because I tell you, once I'm on this thing, I forget about everything and I just go and enjoy everything. Some of the roads are very nice places to just let that six-cylinder wind up a bit, stretch its legs, as you say. Like here. I'm not going to say how fast we're going there, but it's a nice place to open her up. I did a few shots last year, still shots. I had my bike parked here on the side of the road and I took some shots of the mountain range there, or hills. I don't think it would be a mountain range. I have to say, the BMW K1600, I've driven the GTL for a year and a half, and now this is my third summer with the Bagger. I've driven 4 different types of Harleys: Sportster, Road King, Road Glide, Street Glide. I can't vouch for other bikes like Cowies and that. I'm sure they're all as good as well, but I have to say this is the best motorcycle platform that I have driven ever. Such a comfortable motorcycle. So this is a nice road. Got some nice curves. Unfortunately, there was a cement mixer and some other vehicles coming up there, but we'll see how it goes. It's a rough road, but it's a nice curvy road. And you definitely don't want to be coming out through a curve with sand and a cement truck on your way. It's the problem. And of course, the road ain't very clean either, so basically, this section of the road here is probably the most curviest. After that, it's all right. It's a nice road. This road basically connects the 325. We're going east now. We're going to hook up eventually to the 327 at Herbital, which is 11 kilometers from here, and then from Herbital, Arundel, back down through the chute. Eric's going to take the 50 home down to the 15 to Saint Constant on the other side, down south of the island, whereas I'm going to continue down to the 13. Lac de la Mine. So obviously there used to be a mine up here. There's a big shack. Another one. People have some millions of dollars. Well, I'm glad the sand is gone. It's still so-so, but and that's about it for the curves, ladies and gentlemen. Frost heaves from the rocks under the asphalt over the winter are the dangerous spots, especially in the curves. And then you have all the construction trucks with gravel and sand still on the corners sometimes, like a motorcycle nightmare. I just put on some Bridgestone T31 tires 2 weeks ago from my Metzeler Roadtech 01s. The rear tire on the Roadtech's got about 13,000 K and they're pretty bald, but the front didn't last more than 7. I was lucky a friend of mine had another front spare because he changed his set of tires only with that mileage on it because his rear got a real big flat that was not repairable, so they wanted to get a new set front and back. So I was lucky I had another front tire to swap out. Otherwise I would have never got 13,000 K on those set of tires. They were that bad. I'm impressed with the way they handle, the way they grip. I don't know how they handle in the rain yet because I haven't really been out in the rain. I never took the bike out in the rain because of the bad bald tires on the Roadtecs. And it hasn't rained since I've been out on this bike with the new set of T31s. So I guess we'll find out down the road. But dry in the corners, acceleration, especially with 158 horsepower this bike is tuned to now, is quite good. People get all excited about Pilot Road 4s, but I had them on my GTL, and to be honest, I did not like them at all, especially under acceleration. The back tire always slipped. If it wasn't for the traction control on this bike, I'm sure I'd just be laying out burnouts, but because the traction control always cut the power back to keep it stable. A lot of people are jumping on board for the new Michelin Road 5s, but here where I buy my tires, in the Montreal area, they're $160 more plus tax compared to the Bridgestone T31s. So, and they're a new tires, so who's to say how they're going to hold up in the long run? Problem is these cracks with the tar snakes in the corners are just horrendous. I'm sure if this road was paved with new asphalt, this would be a super road to enjoy some of these corners. Basically, I got her in 4th gear here. It's a good range for this area. I got a lot of torque and power. I could just muscle it up through the corners here and there. And once I lay off the throttle, the engine compression at 12.1 to 1 is enough to slow me down before I enter the curve. So my friend Clement, it's too bad you're not here to enjoy some of these nice roads. Maybe one day you'll come back and visit and we'll have a good time. I am definitely going to be banking the money to come visit you in France in the next few years. Wow, 3 o'clock. Not too bad. So far, it's a little over a 300-kilometer ride we've done today. Probably another 100 to go, so it'd be a little over 400-kilometer ride all day once it's all said and done. Now, if I remember, there's a little gully ravine, there'll be a river and whatnot, and then we'll be in Herbideau. Yeah, it's the house at the top of the hill, yeah. So we're pulling into Herbideau. I've taken a bunch of pictures of my motorcycle along this riverbank here. turn down that road. I usually park my bike along the riverbank there and take my photo ops. And here we are in Herbidoux. It's a small town. A lot of it's closed up. Used to come here to a restaurant right here on my right. With the brown sign. There used to be a gas station back there, but that's been closed up for years. Right here. That's all closed up. So we're off to Arundel. Get a shot down there. One thing I love about the K1600 is the Pro Shifter. Absolutely amazing. The only time you need to touch the clutch is in first gear. The rest of the time up and down, click, click, click. Efficient. No loss of power or momentum. I'm sure it would cost money to have it repaired. And here we are in Arundel, little small town of Arundel. So this is where we're headed south to Lachute. Once we hit towards Lachute and it's back to farmland, so it's a small little ride, pretty good ride considering all the shit that's going on in the world right now. That my life really hasn't changed very much. Nothing's been affected. I'm still working, no loss of salary, and I'm able to get out and enjoy riding on my machine on some nice views. This is a massive elk farm and caribou farm for me. Oh, I see he's got deer, so he's farming deer meat too now. One thing, the 327 is patrolled more by the police than the 325 because it's a motorcycle road. This and the 329 is a motorcycle road. So they tend to stash themselves in areas where you wouldn't expect them with the radar. Ooh, the guy still got his heavy winter coat. We've lost our sun. The clouds are moving in for rain tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow. Wait till Saturday morning, and then it clears out again for Saturday, Sunday. Then the showers come back for Sunday afternoon, evening, and Monday, Tuesday. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We actually need some rain because we haven't had a lot of rain this spring. It's been cold. Oof. Somebody's brakes are stuck and burning there. This town has been really built up over the last 40 years. There used to be really nothing here 40 years ago. Now it's a popular cottage area with boating and whatnot. Yeah, popular rest stop, everybody there. Restaurant is closed. I usually eat lunch there. Right, we got some curves. This would be nice to own a cottage here, right off the shoreline. With a great view of this lake. Just spectacular. It's actually nice now with no foliage, because when the leaves come out, you don't get a lot of these nice views because you can't see. That's a nice place up on the hill. all the snow heaves. That's what's dangerous about that. In daytime it's not bad, you could pretty much see them, but if you were traveling this at night and you had no idea they were there, you'd be in a world of trouble. There's some houses built on the side here, and when the lake gets high, it actually floods right up here to the road. This is all with marshland in there, and a lot of the homes, they're built on stilts. As you can see here, they're way up in the air because of the flooding, and literally the water is right under the floors of these houses when it floods. Well, a couple of beautiful homes here. Well, that's pretty much the conclusion of the ride. From this point on, it's just a rolling road, no real sharp curves like we just had. We're going to go through a couple of small towns and hit Lachute, which is a city, and we'll be back on the major highways to get back into the island of Montreal. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, thank you for tuning in for my first recorded ride of 2020. I did a couple of reviews on my AGV helmet and unboxing, but this is actually the first cam recording I've done. And it was fun doing it, even though it's on just my local loads. Hopefully when the borders loosen up their grip, we'll be able to get into some more winding, twisty roads into the northern US. But the 327 here, like I said, is a nice road. It's a lot better than it was here a month ago. This is a lot of sand in the corners from the winter, so with the rains and whatnot, it's all been washed away, so it's nice. Very nice. I I do like how they handle in the corners. Granted, they're brand new tires, but still, it gives me it gives me confidence with these T31s. So I'll do a review at the end of the season to let everybody know how they handle up over the longevity, how much mileage I can get out of them. For me, the number one point for tires is safety, handling, and longevity. So we'll see. So once again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be able to make another video soon.